Hey guys, guess who it is? 3, 2, 1, boom, baby, with another episode of Relationship Roundtable Talk. I have a reoccurring guest, Janice, here with me today. I have a male that's going to be joining us later. I'll wait till he chime in, and then we'll let him introduce himself. I think it's going to be a pretty explosive conversation today. Some things that we talked about previously, but we're going to dig in a little bit deeper because there were more questions concerning a couple of my podcasts that people saw, and I got some feedback, some positive and some negative, and some kind of indifferent. And we're going to talk about those things today. And if you're watching, thank you guys for watching and joining me and chiming in and asking your questions and doing what you do and helping me be a better podcaster. And my goal is to help one, teach one, and I'm happy with that. Okay. So let me let my guest reintroduce herself. Uh Go ahead, darling. Let me put my banner up here.
Hey guys, my name's Janice. Good to see everyone. So, Janice Mariah Perry on Facebook and J Mariah 37 on Instagram. So, those are my
Yeah,
handles.
so I had Janice on my single segment, guys, and because people were like hitting my inbox after Roundtable Talk, hey, they was calling her marriage material. Like she had an actual date right after the podcast. So I just wanted to check back with her and just get like a small synopsis of how that date went. Was there a love connection? Was it I don't think so. And it's really like about living and getting to know people and seeing if this is a person you like to get to know. And one of the things that we talked about offline was how you don't waste your time or anybody else's time when you know that this is not something that you want to do with an individual. And I pride myself on being like that. If I'm not interested and we go out and whatever, have a good conversation or not, whatever, I'll let you know. I don't waste your time. I don't go on 3, 4, 5 dates, have you spending money, and I'm wasting my time. Like I know a lot of women out there, they do those type of things and they'll just ghost you after you done took them out several times. Like it's fucking ridiculous. So we talked about that already. So we're gonna let Janice chime in on it. And then we got some interesting things that we're gonna talk about as well from what she said on previous podcasts.
So the date went, I'm not even gonna lie, I feel like the date went well. Like it was a very casual date. So we went to just a couple of bars, had a couple of drinks. Um, So I feel like on my first date with anyone, what I'm looking for are things that I know that I cannot tolerate long term, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. So um just the small things where I'm like, okay, it's not something that I want to change in someone, but I know that I could not continuously date this person because I could not deal with this in the long term. There was a couple of those that I felt came up during the day. I don't want to give specifics because I don't
No,
want
you
to
don't have to.
doubt
You don't.
anyone. But so I proceeded to send him a text message, trying to be as polite as
Oh, she disappeared. I'm not sure what that was about. Hopefully she can get back in there because she was definitely giving us some tea on her date. But we were talking about being honest, not wasting people's time. Oh, there she is. Whoop, let's come back with it. But I can't hear you. Small technical difficulties, people. Just bear with me here. I can't hear you. Okay. Okay. She's gonna go off and then come back. But we were talking about when you meet somebody initially, you find some sort of attraction, you give them your number, you go out on a date, and you automatically realize this is not something that I want to pursue long term. Uh, it's just the mature adult thing to do is you let that person know as soon as possible because when you don't do that, you're literally like dragging something along. And especially if you have sex with this person immediately, it's like now y'all have these ties, these soul ties and attachments that are like unhealthy, right? So immediately letting somebody know that you're not interested or they're not what you're looking for would be the mature adult thing to do. And obviously, I'm one person in the whole world. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. What I hear people talk about, like women using men, like that wouldn't be a thing if you wouldn't keep going on with this person and you know they're not for you. Like it shouldn't take several instances, several red flags before you come to the determination that this person is not for me. Despite what people say, I believe you know within the first 30 days whether or not you want to deal with this person. So my guest is back. I'm gonna let her
Sorry,
finish her
can you hear
story,
me?
her experience. And on my show, when people speak, it's basically obviously their experience and what they have been through. So I respectfully listen to them and hear them out and let them tell their stories, and then we go from there. But go ahead, friend. I'll let you
Okay,
finish.
you can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry, I just want
absolutely.
to. Okay. So I sent him a text and just let him know, like, thank you for the date. I feel like we're not going to be compatible. So I'm just not interested in pursuing this any further. And I felt like it was the right thing to do, right? Instead of ghosting him or just blocking him because I didn't. And he just went on a rampage.
And that is like totally insane. I don't even understand why operating as a mature adult would cause that reaction. But I've hear a lot of women say when they don't or when they reject a man, and I know it has something to do with their ego. You know what I mean? Like my friend Rico, he always talk about that testosterone levels and that fragile ego that they have. But in some point, you need to govern your own emotions, your own body, and operate as an adult. And as adults, we handle things or should handle things in a mature manner. And so when a lady tells you, hey, thank you. She thanked him for the date, and she said, I don't want to go this route moving further. Like, why would you get nasty at me? And that reminded me of when I was younger and a guy would try to talk to me and automatically I'm calling me out my name because I'm not interested. Everybody's not going to be
Yeah.
interested in you. You're not going to fit and mesh with everybody. If you experience this, something like this, y'all put it in the comments. Let me know. Any questions, let me know and we can talk about it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I had a male friend, like I sent screenshots because I'm like, did I do something wrong? And one of my close male friends was like, you should have just did like typical female and just ghosted him, blocked him and ghosted him. So, and it's not like I understand that sometimes men feel dates are an investment, right? So they're going out, they're spending money. So I always make sure that I'm not doing the most. So I'm not going to go out on the first date and run a bill up.
Right.
I know that that can cause like some animosity with men. So we're talking about like you purchased maybe 4 drinks and Cree, I paid for my own food. So I purchased my own food on the day. You purchased about 4 drinks. Like, are you really that upset over that?
What is
So
that about, guys? I want y'all to tell me in the comments, like, what is that about, guys, where you're upset because somebody is being completely open and honest with you about not wanting to see you again? Like, it happens. Not everybody is going to want to build a future with you. And literally, you can't build a future with everybody you date anyway. And it's a process of elimination when you're out here in this dating world. You hear a lot of people talk about how the dating pool is trash and dirt and all this and that, but if you have people out here operating like that, it's like that's where those things and those kind of comments are going to come from. So,
yeah, it, it's a bit much. So, but I just don't know. So maybe everybody operates differently. So, but I would prefer not to have to ghost anyone. Like if we didn't get along or it's not going to go anywhere, there's no reason for us to keep going on dates or for me to have to block you or any of that. Like I should just
yeah.
let you know and we can move on. And it shouldn't be uncomfortable if we see each other in person. Like we tried it.
Exactly. You should be cordial in person as well. As like Colleen is so small, you're liable to bump into somebody that you actually like had an interest in or dated, and it's just weird to me how people hold grudges behind stuff not working out. Like you rather know up front and as soon as possible so you're not wasting your time. I really call it
Yeah.
wasting time. Like you really don't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
So moving
And
right
I mean,
along,
it
let's
was
talk
so
about
bad though. I did block him, just so you're aware. I had to block him because it just
kept going,
continue.
very
Yeah.
persistent. It's
Yeah.
just strange. Like I dealt with a guy like that not too long ago, and I blocked him, but I ended up unblocking him because he finally got it. Like and I'm trying to tell y'all, if a woman is not interested in y'all, y'all being super persistent is not going to change your mind. Like we know, like literally, we know off the first like interaction within hours, like whether or not we're going to talk to you, whether or not we want to see you again, whether or not you can get it. Like we know. Like I'm not sure
I
why
know.
y'all don't get it. So if we are telling you, especially if we're telling you this right up front, believe it. Like I wish women believe that about men. Like we will go on and think he gonna change and think he gonna do something differently, hoping that he change. But he's literally showing you in the beginning how it's gonna be with him. So Ranger, come here. That's my dog. I'm sorry. So moving along, I want to talk about this list. It's like a huge thing. Women having a list of criteria of what they're looking for, and most of the men out there are calling these things unrealistic expectations. And my friend, he's gonna chime in a little later. You know, he sends me things, and I read it. And I'm like, man, that is freaking ridiculous. Like one lady, 5 kids, says she don't cook, and it's like, who would be interested in somebody like that? Like, so let's talk about your list, Janice. You said it was a couple things that you looked for while you were out, and he failed those things. And I know for me personally, one thing that I look for when I'm out with somebody is how that person interacts with other people. Is he a gentleman? Does he keep a soft tone when he's speaking to people? Like is he demanding? Like is he a gentleman? Like is he like when he speaks or articulates a thought, does he have to use profanity? Like these are things that I look at when I'm out with a guy. So let's talk about some of the things that are on your list.
I'm so shallow. All everything on my list is like shallow.
Like
I
physical.
Yes, I can admit that. I'm shallow. There are some shortcomings that I'm willing to overlook if you are a good look for me when we are out together. So, yeah, I don't have a problem saying that I'm shallow. I can't help it. Like, so I'm just it's so shallow. Yeah. So
So
anything
is
on my
it
list, it's gonna be shallow. It's like, um, what shoes did you wear? Like, how did you put your outfit together? What How does your smile look? Are there other people looking at you because you're attractive? So all of that is like, yeah, I'm shallow.
So basically, you're saying like you want other people to be checking for what you got on your arm. Like
Yes.
that impresses you. That turns you on. I low key
Yes.
like that as well. Like that, I think that's one of the things. I'm not sure why women don't admit like these things. Like I, that's one of the things that I really like about you, that you don't mind admitting like your truth. Like literally,
Yeah.
it's your truth. You don't mind it, even though you know it can be perceived as shallow, but I see it as that's your truth. And your
Yeah.
truth is yours. Nobody has to deal with you and your truth but that person in the mirror, and that is you.
Yeah.
So
Like,
like
do I want to be able to have an intelligent conversation with my man? Absolutely. But if he's a little bit slow, I might look that up, overlook that, like, oh, I'm
oh
gonna have to
my
talk
god.
to him. He's a little bit slow. He might talk to other people a little bit slow, but it's okay. Like, we look good when we're out together.
And
Like,
that's it. So it's
yeah,
almost like that pretty person privilege. Like if you look good, you're liable to get away with way more things than when you don't look so good. I think that's gonna tell the difference with guys. Like if your woman is allowing you to do some things that she probably wouldn't allow. And I think also with men, like I was having a conversation with a guy, my friend, he's not chiming in yet, but he will. And it was pretty much like one of the conversations they were having, like one of the women were all in the man's face, and the man didn't say anything about it being his woman or whatever the case may be. I think I'm gonna let him tell the rest of that story, but it's like when a man feels like he's with a woman that's out of his league or that everybody wanted, but she chose him, like he's liable to put up with certain things from her that he wouldn't otherwise put up with from a woman that he didn't think or
And
put
I
on that
wouldn't even
pedestal.
say like out of my league. Like I don't need like a supermodel, right? I just and you can look crazy in the house if you haven't gotten a haircut, shaved your beard, in the house. That's okay. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to embarrass you when we go out. I'm going to
Mhm.
make sure that I look my best. So I expect you to do the same as well. So for me, it's very shallow, but it's your appearance, how we look when we go out somewhere. So.
Yeah, I think those are top notch things, like the way you smell, the way you present yourself, and for me, the way you speak. Like those are three like top notch things when I find myself attracted to a man. The way they look, smell, and how they speak. So it's kind of like how you move. I have to watch them for a while from a distance before I even like put myself in their space. So
Like if he can't speak well or he's a little bit slow, it's okay. I'll speak for him when we go out
Janice is
somewhere.
okay with
It's
that.
yeah, it's okay. I got
I'm
you.
not. You need to be able to articulate some thoughts.
I'm
And
gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her what you were trying to say, or I'm gonna tell him what you were trying to say. It's okay. I got this, boo. Yeah.
hey, Paul Wizzo, how are you? Hey, tomorrow, guys, I want y'all to tune in. I'm gonna have an up close and personal on Paul Wizzo show, Wizzo Talk. Y'all tune in and check it out. I don't know what he's gonna ask me, but you know I'm gonna keep it real, just like my girl Janice do. I love it. We definitely have that in common, and that brings me to this. I really want to talk about and dive into your idea of respect for cheating. So, guys, I'm gonna let her explain this, because I never really heard it like this before. Respectful cheating, because she says she's not open to polygamy or anything like that. She's into monogamy, but she has a thing where she calls respectful cheating. So I'm gonna give the floor to her so she can like explain it to y'all. I'm still a little clueless about it, so let's dive into it.
I feel like if you break it down to like the bare minimum, it's about you fully belonging to me emotionally and mentally. But if I'm sharing you physically with other people, I'm okay with that. So there's a lot of things that come into that. It's because I don't want to be hurt, right? So I feel like men are visual creatures. They're not meant to spend their life just with one woman. Um, I think that they're supposed to get out there and test stuff out. They see it, they want to test it. I don't want my man feeling like he missed out on something because he's quote unquote stuck in this relationship. But it that's all it should be is physical. So when you start backtracking and it's physical with the same chick over and over again, that's building an attachment. So you're not cheating respectfully because you're building a relationship with someone else. So if you're going from chick to chick, you're protecting yourself. I don't have to worry about STDs, babies. You're not just spending a check on a chick. You're not spending money on them. You're just physically hitting that, hitting that, hitting that. And I don't have to worry about some female feeling comfortable enough to come and say something to me because all you gave her was some dick and nothing else. I'm okay with that. I'm okay
Uh,
with it.
a few things, right? First thing is the problem with that is that we're dealing with humans, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But it
it's
can, let me tell you, it can be done, Cree, because I have been in relationships. I was in a 4-year relationship, and I promise you, he was probably like the most popular, biggest hoe that I knew in LA. So everybody knew him. We were together for 4 years. Everybody knew him. Like all the chicks would be on his Instagram making comments, all of that. But nobody could claim him. No one could say, "Oh, I'm seeing him. Oh, I went on a date with him." Now, was he randomly smashing like here? Absolutely. But he answered my calls, my texts. He was answering phone calls when I knew it was a whole nother chick in his house. She wasn't making no noise, so I couldn't prove it. So it can be done. He did it for 4 years. 4 years.
So again, I didn't get to finish my first thing because there's a few things that I want to talk about. I believe anything's possible. I believe that it's all about the mindset. So if you put your mindset in, this is how I'm going to operate, then I believe every day you can operate in that way. However, when you're dealing with multiple people, like just because your mindset is of that, this is my person, and I'm going to trust him to go out here and sleep and not build attachments. The problem with that is the other woman, right? Because once in my life, I decided that I can possibly have some type of situation like that. I tried it and didn't work out. The other girl, competition mode. I just want him. I'm gonna take him, and she was doing things that were crazy. Like, and so I had to end up taking myself out of the situation because I don't want to deal with crazy. And the one thing that we know is that we can only control ourselves. We can't control another human being. And some women, a lot of them, hearts are attached to their vagina. Like I might be one of those people, right? So you can say, he answered my calls. Nobody can claim him. He's there for me emotionally. However, those other women, those other attachments, those other soul ties that he created could have brought almost any kind of drama in your life to the point of death. Now, that's the overall how I see it because I
Yeah.
don't trust the idea of anything being respectful if you're going outside the household. And now I'm giving you permission to go outside the household. So now it's like we're not going to argue about this. And to me, it's just a protective factor that you have for yourself because you started off by saying, I don't want to be hurt. And
Yeah.
to me, the hurt comes, like I keep telling these men, it's not the cheating part, it's the lying, the deceitful, the manipulation, the telling me you're only woman I want and need, and then you're out here doing this and that, but yet you're in my face crying, saying, "But I love you. I don't want nobody else." You whatever, and you basically lying instead of living in your truth. And I want to preach to people like you can absolutely live in your truth, have that type of dynamic that Janice is talking about. You just have to be honest from the beginning to the end of it. And somebody is going to accept you in all your trash. So in that situation, if you ever get a woman call your phone, be disrespectful, what?
Um, with him, no. So the relationship ended once that happened. And like I said, this is 4 years. I knew he was doing
Once
it for
what
the whole
happened?
4 years. Once it somebody got comfortable enough to contact me.
Mm,
So, because
it's
at that point, like
inevitable.
but it's part of the rules, right? So if
Right.
you're dealing with me and I tell you that I'm okay with this is part of the rules. So as long as you follow that and you can maintain that, that's why I said, you said some women, their hearts are attached to their vaginas. Um, that's why I said you shouldn't be hitting the same thing several times. Like men are smart enough to know, like if you keep going to the same thing, at some point she's gonna build an attachment. So hit it and move along. Like
But that's the
move
thing. If
along.
it's good, why would I move along when I could just go get it where it's good?
Because I'm not. First of all, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing at home. Okay, so I'm not having you do this because I don't want to satisfy your needs sexually. That's never what it's about. What it's about is, like I said, so for me, it's a little bit different. I feel like as women, most of the time we're giving these ideas from other women in our family. So this is passed down from grandmothers,
Generations.
mothers, all of
Mhm.
that. So mine doesn't come from there. The majority of how I function in relationships comes from my father and my brother. So I see men as visual creatures. And sometimes the cheating happens because they're I don't want I don't want to like downplay them or seem like I'm being disrespectful, but sometimes it's like they're they're like children who don't want to go to bed because they feel like they're going to miss out on something. So I don't ever want you to feel like you missed out on something. Go. Go try it out. And here's the thing, if it's great to the point where you can't try it once and then come back home and act right, then go. Let me
Go
know
be with that person.
and go.
But
Yeah.
why would they make that choice when they have a woman at home who's allowing them to step out whenever they get ready? Let's touch
Because
on what.
I'm not going to allow you to keep going back to the same thing over and over
So
again,
it
because at
sounds
some
like
point you're going to crash and burn.
it sounds like, Janice, you want to assert some sort of control. So it's like, as long as you follow these rules that I am putting before you, this is
It's
okay.
not, but it's not even, I wouldn't even call it rules. Like, I have certain things that are like, they're hard nosed for me and I'm going to leave. So you don't have to follow them, but you have to know that I'm going to leave. Like, if this happens in this situation, I'm going to leave. So, and if you're okay with that, then do you. I'm not trying to control him, but these are the things that are going to make me leave. So I have to be honest about it, right? So I can't just be like, oh, I don't care. You can sleep with whoever you want. No, no, no. Like,
Do you
if
even
it,
vet the women though? Are they being vetted? Like what?
no,
Is
I
this
don't want to know.
randomly?
I don't want to know.
Okay, so
I don't,
see, here's
yeah.
the thing about not wanting to know. You don't want to know because it will affect you emotionally, mentally.
Um,
Let's talk
but
about.
I think if I found out, I don't have a problem. This is not a, hey, come and tell me that
Mm,
you want to sleep with this chick. This is a, if you're out somewhere and you smash some chick, as long as it's not affecting my health or anything that we have going on, I don't care. Like that, it has nothing to do with me. But as soon as what you're out there doing
started
affects me,
flexing.
then I gotta go. I'm not gonna deal with it. So it's do you. And most men, when I say that, they think, oh, it's because she feels the same way. Absolutely not. So I'm big on the whole concept of,
So you're
if,
not out
if
there doing living your best life.
no, I'm big on the concept that a lock that can be unlocked by any key is worthless, and a key that can unlock any lock is a master key and is priceless.
Mm, okay, I
So,
like that. You said that before. Let's let's
yeah.
let's talk about this. Justin James Johnson said, "Is God involved? And what does God say about all this?"
Um, so I'm not religious, so not Christian. So of course, for me, like the whole concept. Don't get me wrong. I respect anybody's religion, but the whole concept of Christianity, like marriage, all that sacred stuff, it doesn't fall into my realm just because it's not something that I follow. Um, it doesn't mean that I don't feel like there can be meaningful monogamous relationships. It doesn't mean that I don't think that I could find a man that doesn't need that and won't go and do that. Um, Great. But I just, yeah, the whole concept of that, yeah,
And that's another reason why I like you. I'm very fond of you because you don't subscribe to societal norms. There are a lot of brainwashed people on planet Earth, and they are still following this idea of that you're just supposed to cling to one person when you leave your family and live happily ever after, or just be with that person for longevity for the rest of your life.
yeah,
And I don't know one person on planet Earth who has been with person their entire life. As a matter of fact, it's been multiple relationships they've been in. And I think it's important that we are in these different relationships because they kind of shine the mirror on us to show us what we need to work on, what we're doing great, what we're not doing so great at. I think the relationships, the different relationships, kind of help us mold us into who we are meant to be initially. And I think God actually intended it to be that way. I don't think
yeah,
a woman is meant to be with just one man for the rest of her life. It's like you need to experience different things. And that's why we fall into that whole, oh, these men treated me like crap. So now this guy is different. So now he's the one for me. That doesn't mean he's the one for you. He's just different from all the other guys. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So only
But
time.
I still respect people's decisions. Like
Right.
if that's how you were raised and those are your beliefs and that's what you follow, like by all means, like of course. follow that. Maybe you don't understand my outlook on things, but that doesn't mean that I'm not receptive to how other people feel about it or what their beliefs are.
Yeah, and that's dope as well because that's a part of respecting another adult. And we are entitled to live our lives the way we see fit, like whatever is
Yeah.
to us in our lifestyle. So, non-judgment zone over here. Like I be judging, but I don't really judge. I really like respect people who think for themselves, operate in themselves, leaders and not followers, and just truly live in their truth. And they're honest about what they do and how they live. Wizzle Talk said God doesn't have anything to say. I said, and this is very interesting. I was doing some hair yesterday, and the young lady, my friend, and she said she was watching my podcast with a mutual friend, and they watched the podcast I was on, the PM Lifestyle, and they said based off of my comments that I'm a sexist. And I was just thrown back because I love women. Like I am definitely for women. Like we need to get a woman code. We need to operate like where we have each other's back. We my friend literally well not my friend, my mom's friend car broke down and all these cars just driving by. I pull up and I don't do manual labor. So like I'm like, y'all need to wave a man down because we gonna need some help. And guess who stopped? A young lady stopped, and she absolutely knew what she was doing. And I was so impressed that she stopped and she actually used her car towing service for my mom's friend car. And like she was there the whole time, like made sure we was good, we was straight. And I was like, that's the type of stuff that I want to see. That's the type of energy I want to be put out with ladies instead of us. Somehow we have been brainwashed to think that the male is the prize now and what we offer is a little bit of nothing. You know, and don't get me wrong, I do believe men are prizes as well. Like a good
Hmm.
solid man is absolutely a prize, but not to the point where you willing to put up with any trash. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like I'm not putting up with no trash because you're a good looking man and you got it going on. And a lot of
I
women,
will.
I'm not. Okay. Janice will, but I'm
I
not, right? So I only can
will.
give you so much of me before I realize, yeah, I'm not dealing with you. Have to be of good character. Like that's the bare minimum, like to deal with me. Like if I see you asshole or like don't treat women right or people right in general, I can't mess with you. Like it just doesn't work for me, like in my mind.
Yeah.
Like
Depending on what you look like, I'm gonna thug it out for a while. I'm gonna see how much I can tolerate. I'm gonna thug it
and
out.
that is okay. You know what I mean? Like that's okay. Like I think people should do what they can handle. Oh God. Jack said his thing is not loading. Jack, if you're watching, I can try and send you the link via email. Let me see if I can uh-oh. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to send him the link via email. I need you to share an experience while I'm doing that, friend.
I don't have any great experiences.
We'll talk about one that wasn't so great and what you learned from it.
I'm kind of hard headed though, so like I don't learn too much. Like I'll just be going back to the same thing, and I'll be like, maybe it's gonna be different this time. So it definitely takes me maybe like 4 or 5 times going through stuff before I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me try something different." So yeah, I'm so and I this is gonna come across bad, but I think initially when relationships are like fresh and new, um I try to keep things very like for the first like 3 to 4 months surface level.
Mm-hmm.
um because I kind of just enjoy that, like we're just super physically attracted to each other. It's, and we're slowly getting to know each other. Now, sometimes I will get attached really fast, but for the most part, like let's just keep it surface until we fully know each other. So yeah, that's why it takes me so long to learn stuff, because listen, if you look good and the sex is good, there's just a lot of stuff that I'm just gonna put up with. I probably should have been gone. Like,
Why is it like that, friend?
I don't know.
Why are we
So,
like this? I love the fact that you're even admitting it though. Like it's crazy.
yeah. So I promise you, if you look good and the sex is good, like, uh, and you're telling me that me expressing my emotions is bothers you, or you don't want me to, I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything. Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Okay. Well, we will. Yeah.
I think a lot of women stay in situations a little too long if the sex is really good. That's why it's important not to be sleeping with any and every freaking body. Because I'm telling you, if the sex is good, we stay way longer
Yes.
than we should. And those soul ties are something else. I cannot
Yeah.
find his email. What is happening
Oh,
here?
and then don't let me have an event coming up where I need a date and I want to make sure, because I'm shallow, that my date is attractive, because I could be ready to be done with you, but I'll be like, okay, we're going to wait until after this because I need him to go with me so that I look good with this person. Yes.
That is so crazy. Friend, I'm literally trying to find his email address so that I can send him. Let's see. Let me give you something to talk about here. Let's see. Give me some qualifications of what an alpha male would look like for you. Because this is the only type of man that Janice is willing to like date guys. So
Like, you have to be the decision maker. So I feel like that fully boils down, like it boils down to that.
I'm not sure why I
Um,
can't get this. Oh, this is
So
trash.
I hate when a man's like, "Oh, well, what do you want to do?" or whatever you pick, I'm okay with that. I just need somebody that's going to be like, "No, this is what it's going to be, or this is what we're going to do." So, yeah, basically a decision maker.
And there are not a lot of guys out there like that. They will definitely let the woman do
Yes.
everything.
Now, can you ask me a couple of questions so that we can get to that decision? Absolutely. Like, oh, well, I like when a guy is like, is there anything that you don't eat? Or are there anything that you don't like to do? Like, because I do not
Yeah,
want to go on a
let's see.
date
Email. What's your email?
and go fishing or do some outdoor activity. But
R-E?
um,
R-E.
besides asking me what my preferences are, like, I just need him to make the decision.
R-E Jackson. I feel like you sent me an email before. R-E Jackson 6 nine and what? What was it saying when you was trying to log in? Sorry guys. All right, let me try to do that way. I'm trying to get my other guest on here and I'm having technical difficulties. R-E Jackson 69 at yahoo.com. There he goes. Now he wants to pop up. Okay. All right, let's see what my friend. Oh, there she is. Hopefully I can get him chimed in. Wizzo says, talk about how you like it missionary.
Listen, this is why arms are so important to me. Fellas, like, if you have nice arms, there's a lot of stuff that I will overlook as well. Um, because I just want to touch on your arms while I have missionary sex.
Oh
Like,
shit.
it's like the best thing ever. So,
Mm, mm,
and
mm.
sometimes it can be awkward because if we're not in a relationship, I'm not really a kisser. Um,
Mm.
we have to be established. So I know for some guys, like being a missionary and not being able to kiss is kind of might be awkward. But yeah, I want to touch on your arms while we're in missionary. Like, it's just, oh my
Let
god,
me
it's
ask you
my
this.
thing.
Why do you think so many, I'm sorry to cut you off. Why do you think so many women settle for like casual situations knowing that they want more?
Because we end up kind of going for the men that have already let us know that they don't want more. So it's easy to fall into that trap, right? So you meet someone, they're super attractive, you're like, oh my gosh, like I super like this person or whatever. Not only are you physically attracted to them, but you feel like there's chemistry there. And a male can be honest with you and be like, hey, I'm not looking for anything outside of this, right? So then in your mind, you're like, oh, well, fucking, if this is the only way that I'm going to be able to mess with him, then this is what I'm about to do.
It's like we
So
just want what we want, right?
yes, and sometimes it goes to the left because then you're settling for the casual, and to him that's what it is. It's casual. Y'all are smashing. That's it. And you're like, oh my gosh, like this is my
Fall
man.
in love.
Yes.
Girl, don't talk about it, girl. You fall in love and you try to change.
Yeah, but I have gotten to a point in my dating life where um I'm quick to tell a male if he tells me he just is looking for something casual. I tell him he can casually get the hell on. Yes. So even on my dating
Even
profile,
if
it
you like
says,
him and he's checking off all that checklist.
"Yep, I can't do it anymore." So even on my dating profile, it says, "If you're looking for something casual, go ahead and casually swipe left." Because yeah, we're
And
we're
that
not
is
doing that
one of
over
the
here.
reasons why they lie and tell you that they looking for something serious and they want something serious because they know the lie is going to get them in there so they can ultimately get what they want, which is
But sometimes that's all we want too. Like I had a situation where I met this dude, and he was definitely too young for me to actually take seriously.
mhm.
Um, but super attractive, like smelled good, super attractive. Like I looked good out with him, and technically, all I wanted to do was smash. And after we smashed, and he was hitting me up, like then I kind of like I might have dogged him out just a little bit and been like, "This ain't gonna
Walk
go
them
nowhere."
out.
Because why
Not
are
with
you
you.
attached? Like, please go somewhere. Like, you knew this wasn't going to go anywhere. Yeah. So,
Do you
s-
think like when you experience those type of situations that like it's karma that comes around when you like have bad experiences now that you want something seriously?
oh, all the time, all the time. So, any woman that knows me for a long amount of time, they or knew my husband, they talk about how he was literally perfect. What every woman wants, quote unquote, in a husband. And sometimes I think that the men that I end up with now, it's karma because I didn't want that. I didn't want that.
And that's why they
So,
say good men finish last. Because the good men, and it's crazy how, okay, before I even start talking, so the Cancerian king, is that what we supposed to be calling you? Because you know I was about to say Jack.
Jack is fine.
Okay. So Jack has entered the building. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then I'm going to kind of let him know what we've been talking about and get some of his insight. He has one of those beautiful minds that I like to explore from time to time. I'm glad he came on my podcast. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Uh, Go ahead and introduce yourself, and if you want anything you want to share.
Good evening, everyone. Jack or Jackson, Cancerian King is the alias. It's me and Creed go back a little bit. She's been trying to get me on here, so I figured I'd drop in. Hopefully, I don't get ambushed.
I got you. You're good. I keep trying to tell you. You're good. You're good.
We gonna see.
We've been talking about just basically relationships, alpha men, what that looks like, and why women like kind of settle for things that they know that they really don't want, and why they're not really like completely open and honest about it, and why they get in stuff because they want that person, and then later on they try to change or rearrange the dynamics, knowing that they agreed to said dynamics in the beginning because their vagina is attached to their heart. So if you want to chime in on that, friend, feel free to do so. We also touched up on like that pretty person privilege, like you would put up with certain things because somebody is gorgeous versus if they're not.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. The a person's aesthetics could be the difference between flirting and harassment. So we just call it what it is. You will, women and men as well, will put up with certain um, behavior or comments and stuff with someone based on their looks and stuff. You got a little more tolerance if it's something nice to look at. As far as like why women settle, I don't think I can answer that question. It's definitely a woman's.
Why do you think though? Why do you think that women take on part of a man and knowing they want a whole man, but they put up and deal with just part of him because that's all he's offering and said man, and obviously because they're attracted and they want that man. But if that man is telling you you can't have all of me, you're never gonna have all of me, or is it the false hope that some men say I can't predict the future? Like I've heard that one before,
No,
or
I think it's that in the back of their mind they think it's something they're going to be able to change them. Most of us try to change people, whether it's directly or indirectly. We try to, I feel like we will put our we'll assert our perspective on them to the point to where if they don't agree, then we'll try to guilt them into agreeing, or we'll guilt them and try to guilt them into seeing things the way that you see it. When they may have been, keeping a buck straight out the gate, but because you found quote unquote what you want in that person, when half the damn time you ain't known them but a few months. Like, how do you how do you know someone? Like you hear people talk about this 6 month rule. Y'all fuck around and listen to Steve Harvey with this damn think like a man bullshit and the 90 days and 6 months. How can you know someone in 6 months that's been on this earth for 50 years?
you really can't. Janice, would you like to answer that?
Help me understand that
Listen,
part.
for me, it's I mean, if I really like someone, I'm ready to move fast. Like 2 weeks in, I'm ready for you to move in. Like, go ahead and pack your
Mhm.
stuff and
That,
move here. What?
that is what we call reckless behavior, man.
Reckless behavior. Do you hear it? So, do you
Two,
believe?
two
Do
weeks.
y'all believe in
That
love at
that's
first
how you
sight?
that's how you find yourself with a hobo festival. Because you're so quick to rush into what you want, and you're not looking at what he or she is actually bringing or what they want, because you haven't taken the time to really get to know the person. And yet, so you end up, with somebody in your house, and now you got to get them people involved because they don't want to leave because you gave them residency.
Do you think there's like a time limit, like to where you can adequately say, I know this person, where I kind of know how they're going to act or react? Because you can
I
know
don't think
somebody for years and
it's
still.
hard to, well, it's hard to put a time on it because you're only going to know as much as a person allow you to know anyway. So trying to find some level of comfort in your communication skills should be almost like primary. This should be out the gate one of your first objectives.
Where did Janice go so she can read Janice? You
I'm
right on
sorry,
time.
I had to let my
Falon
dogs
said
out.
that's why you're single.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So I'm
But hold
impatient.
up, but you would say that's why you single. But who said being in a relationship is to catch me out? Everybody out here trying to sell
Speak
this. I
on it,
want this. I
friend.
want that. I want a
No,
husband. I want
so
a wife. People
I'm
just
fully
lying
aware,
about
right?
half this
But
shit.
there's a man for me. There's a man somewhere for me. So
Of
I'm fully
course.
aware that I'm extreme about certain things. I'm impulsive. Like I'm not for everybody. I'm not. So, but there's somebody for me. There's somebody that I'm going to meet, and they're going to want to move in 2 weeks because I done fell in love with them in 2 weeks, and everything is going to work
You
out
don't
peachy
think that's
keen.
unrealistic,
You
friend?
fell, you
Fall in
fell in
love.
love with their represent. You fell in love with their representative in 2 weeks.
And it's almost
Now,
like how many
now,
times do you have to bump your
now you
head?
got to learn. You got to learn his Jeffrey Dahmer side, but he's already a resident now.
So listen, but I do believe in love at first sight. Like I've literally, so
That's what I was gonna ask.
it's rare for me to approach a man. Very rare. Like either they're gonna approach me or we're gonna miss the opportunity. That's just how I look at it. But my ex, I met him at a Young Jeezy concert. And from the moment this man walked up to the line, I just knew. I just knew. I was like, oh my God, he's for me. Um,
How long
during,
y'all married?
we were together for 4 years, but when I tell you that I've only been in love once in my life, that is the only time that I've ever
Not the
truly been in
guy
love.
that you respectfully allowed to cheat.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did you hear
Like,
that part of the segment of the show, Jack? Her idea of what respectfully
No,
cheating is.
no, I literally
Enlighten
just
him a
started.
little bit on that so we can get a male perspective on that.
now she want me to explain it again.
No, not the whole thing. Just if you can shorten
Um,
it up, just so we
yeah,
can get an idea.
just allowing who I'm with to kind of physically be open to other people as long as he remains emotionally and mentally faithful to me. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm open to
So
that.
you're okay to some degree with a semi-open relationship.
Yes, as long as it where whatever he's doing, it's solely physical, and that there's no attachments, and I don't have to worry about like my physical health or anything
Right.
like that. Yeah.
I mean, if you if it's agreed upon, then it's not cheating, right?
Yeah. So, but most people look at it like it's cheating. So I just refer to it as respectful cheating.
So,
Well,
and
I
why didn't
didn't
it
give
work
my
out?
hold up, Cree. I didn't give my
Okay, go ahead.
my
Give us the thought process on
no 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 no. I mean to my disclaimer.
that.
By
Okay.
no means do I speak for all men or most men. I
Okay.
don't know all women or most women. So anything that I say is based on my experiences and probably my peer group. So just want to get that out the way. So for anybody jumping your comments talking about you don't know this, you don't know that. I'm not trying to know it all. I'm just speaking from my perspective, okay?
Just use your mind. It's okay, friend. They know
Mm,
speak is from my own personal
Her and the two
experiences.
girls need to
mm.
slow
So
it down.
saying, yeah, so and Falon said her and the two girls, the two he talking about the girls.
Mm.
So but wait, but why didn't it work out? And then we're gonna let Jack comment on.
Because, like I said, for the 4 years, I felt like he was doing whatever he was doing. Like I knew in my head, but I didn't know. And at the end of the 4 years, he ended up in a situation where, so in his mind, let me explain it. In his mind, I wasn't available to him. So by this time, I was working two jobs. I had started working two jobs. Um, for financial reasons, like he had stuff going on, and so I kind of wanted to like help him out, make sure that we were good. And once I started doing that, I was doing it for about 6 months, and during that time, he allowed someone to get emotionally attached to him to the point
Wow.
where yeah, she contacted me. So,
Mm.
and like I keep saying, I'm shallow. So as soon as you embarrass me, I gotta go.
Mm.
So I can't do it
I'm just
anymore.
seriously
So
surprised that happened.
that one contact, that her contacting you that one time said the head with the person that you saw in the Young Jeezy concert that you knew was the one for you.
Mhm. I mean, he just recently, keep in mind, like I told you, he's the only person that I feel like I've ever loved in my life. Like I've truly been in love with. And he just recently sent me a text because every now and then he'll check on me, like send me a text, like, how are things in Texas, blah, blah, blah. And he just recently sent me a text talking about, I don't know why you didn't just marry me and we wouldn't still be going through life like looking for someone. But like I said, I'm shallow, and if you embarrass me, I, I'm not saying I gotta go.
We all
So
have our conditions or our non-negotiables. So
yeah. So
I
that's
would say that.
that's it. But as
So
long as if you never
how long
embarrass
ago
me,
was that?
I'm gonna thug it out. We broke up in
How long?
2018.
Okay, how many times have you come close to finding that since 2018?
Never. Yeah,
Hey, 7 years ago.
never.
7 years ago.
So, yeah, and
Do
I didn't.
you think maybe your non-negotiables may need to be reconsidered?
I mean, here we are now. It took me after our breakup. It took me a year, and it took me almost 2 years to start dating or speaking to men again
Dang,
or anything.
speaking of
Yeah.
men.
Would you agree
So,
that good people make? Would you agree that good people make bad decisions and mistakes from time to time?
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm just saying. This rapper, Fabulous. I always say, don't lose the one you love over your pride, right?
Mm, yeah, but
Mm.
I don't backtrack.
Pride is something that will be the demise of us all eventually. I believe, because
But
we very
if
seldom
you
willing to
call it,
compromise.
you can call it pride, right? So you can say that it's pride, but some people just, these are like my set standards. So if we go into it and you know these are my set standards, like I expect you, if you care for me the way that I care for you, I expect you to at least respect those. Like these are my standards.
So,
So
so if you stepped out of his set standards one time, then he'd be well within his rights to say deuces. You're not looking for grace or any certain second chances or anything like that.
nope.
Hey, long as what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I would completely understand, but and I don't backtrack. So
Mm,
there's never a possibility for me and him again. Like once I say that that's it, I am fully, I truly believe in um, trying to make something work after it is ended, and going back to it is literally like trying to put crap back in your butt after you after you took a crap. So
You better
yeah, I'm
go.
not.
You better
Yeah, I'm
go.
not doing it.
You better get online and see when the next Young Jeezy concert is.
so I want to ask you this, Jack. Why do you think men cheat? Why do you think they find it so difficult to be honest about what it is they want and desire in situations and relationships?
Most of the time, we don't think the honesty will be met with understanding. And think about it, don't nobody cheats to get caught. So hell, that's
Right.
half the battle. Right there. You don't think you're gonna get caught first of all, or you wouldn't take that chance most often. But most people are not gonna, like I say again, not speaking for all, but most people are not gonna understand the fact that you want to move outside of the situation that you have. And I don't believe that one person can 100% satisfy anybody. So we all gonna have to settle in some ways. If you don't think you're gonna have to settle in some way, just keep on going.
Why do you
You're
think
not,
women have such high expectations of men these days? Like, why do you think that's like a big deal? Like the things you send me on the messenger about the women and they having these expectations, and it's like,
social
why do you
media,
think that is? Like,
social because they think that someone else has it like that. When the person on social media probably even damn lied out the gate. So that they see all of this has come a microwave world, in my opinion. Everything has to be now. Nobody wants to put in the time, the labor to like really grow stuff. So there's this instant gratification that we've come accustomed to. You think about it, anywhere from 2 3 minutes is the most you're going to get out of most people's attention when it comes to the media. Nobody's going to sit down and watch an hour of news, but they'll watch 90 seconds of a clip. That's why you see on like on social media these shorts get a lot more views than full shows because people don't have the attention span, and that lack of attention span spills over into life in general, in
mm,
my opinion.
Can I touch on that, Cree?
yeah,
I feel like a lot of the times, men and women in general are given like false confidence, right? So, like, you can see a man and he's not the most attractive. He doesn't, but he has money. So, in his mind, that is what women want. They want a man with money. So now he has this false confidence that you have to
That's
put
what
up with
women
stuff
say.
because he has money. Women,
That's what
and
women
all,
say. They
and
don't want to.
all of a
Women,
sudden,
they
so
make it clear your commas and decimals make a difference.
yeah,
but
and
with
when you let me say this. You said false confidence. I don't think it's false. I think it's
No, when
realistic
you
because
got the
the
right,
women
It's
assuring them.
when you got the when you got the commas
but
and decimals to back it up, that's real confidence.
But no,
Yeah,
so but
and
here's the thing.
go ahead.
They're in their thought, because they have this, they're entitled to whatever woman they want. Then women, they get a BBL, get their boobs done, their bodies together, and now in their minds, and they can treat men however they want because every man wants them, because this is what society is telling us, that this is desirable by the other sex, right? So that when I say false confidence, absolutely they're confident, but they shouldn't be that confident
It
because
shouldn't be.
it no. Because let me tell you something, and it goes back to me being shallow. I don't care if you have $2 million. If you are ugly, do not talk to me. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I don't care what you can buy me. What? No, I'd rather struggle with somebody that I'm attracted to
And
than be
slow.
over here. Yep, and a little bit slow. Than be over here with somebody.
As long as
That's
you look good on my arm, I'm okay with it.
yeah. So, but the same goes for women. Like, oh, well, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do this, I don't do that. A man's gonna want me. Why? Because you got your body done. Like, no, it doesn't
But there
work
are some
that way.
shallow men out there, ma'am, as well.
Well,
And they
and that's
just
what
want
they
the
need to go.
arm candy. They just want the
That's what
arm
they need to
candy.
go and find, though. So,
So it goes both ways. So some men just want arm candy, and some women just want to be attached to a man who has all those physical things. Like I don't really get it, but like have you ever experienced that? Sir, what is like some of your challenges, your biggest challenges that you see like in the dating world now,
In
besides
the
people
dating
being
world,
competitive? Because we know that's a huge one.
speed. Everything's got to happen so fast. That's one of the biggest challenges, I believe. Nobody has the patience to let things develop. Like if it's not now, I'm moving. They call it dating with a purpose. Well, damn, aren't we all dating with a purpose? We just have to make sure our purpose is matched. We
Mm.
get all of these catchphrases, it's giving this. I'm dating with a purpose. It's all a bunch of bullshit. People will latch on to a coin term so quickly and try to identify with it when half of them don't even know what it means. What's your purpose? You're dating with a purpose. Explain your purpose, please. And
And
then
it's
that's just what you get. Deer in
and
the headlights. Deer in the headlights. Explain purpose that does not involve my financial status. I
hmm
mean, give me something to work with if you're dating with a purpose.
Delmarcus
This a
said
bunch of
microwave relationships. Hey, you know what, Janice? You and Delmarcus might make it like a good match. He's a serial dater too.
Cree. What
I
have I
gotta get
told
him
you
on the
about
show.
trying to be Cree? I
I
didn't told you
know
you are
he's a
not Cupid.
serial dater too.
You are not Cupid, Cree.
Oh, well, I get some kind of thrill out of bringing people together, and as
Mm,
long as there's a smile attached and they had a good time, why not? But we here.
mm.
So, what was I going to talk about? That's crazy. I want to talk about like why people find it so difficult to like be honest and transparent in the beginning, like or throughout the whole experience. Like,
I was
why
going
do
to say it's a
people
little
want to
bit easier in
control?
the beginning.
Hmm?
I would venture to say it's a little bit easier in the beginning because the expectations haven't mounted yet. Like as the expectations increase, that's when things get more challenging for most people. I would think. I mean, I go walk up to you now and keep it a buck, and you got a choice to either get involved or walk away. So that's too easy. But as things get more, as things mature and the expectations increase, I think what we don't do is go back and validate what we want. We wanted this 3 months ago, or 6 months ago, 9 months ago. Do we still want the same thing?
Mm-mm.
Maybe, maybe not. So maybe if we do more affirming and reiterating what you want, that might make things go a little bit smoother. But
So
half the time, you
go ahead.
go ahead.
If you like, so okay, you do that. Um, and you would think though, like being involved with someone that you're attracted to, you're connected to, things are going well. You would think that anything that's healthy would grow. right? That's the idea. If it's healthy, it's going to grow into whatever. You don't think that once you sit down, you would decline, like, I no longer want this. Like, what? Like, it seems like something major would have to happen for you to decline versus incline if
You
it's a healthy situation.
don't know what that person's history is, though.
All right, give
Or
me
there
an
was a
example.
lack of
Maybe,
communication.
I mean, that healthy. If they've never experienced a healthy relationship, they might not know how to handle a healthy relationship.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. I heard a couple times
I mean,
that
you all do.
I was giving too much love before. Like, I'm like, how does a person give too much love? But if you're an individual who hasn't had it your entire life, it's like it can be kind of overwhelming for you.
Yeah, overwhelming. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I
And
understand that
then
now, but when
a
I
lot of
was in
times
that situation,
we expect people to change also. A lot of times we expect, it's like we going like, you kind of like it's too good to be true. So you just waiting for that boot to drop or that old shit moment. And so
crazy.
you may start, we all are guilty of self sabotage, I believe, to some degree in situations.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and if you're not accustomed to being treated a certain way or not accustomed to communicating, because you got to think about it. How long has it been since men were encouraged to communicate their feelings?
Yeah, this seems
How,
like it's
that,
fresh
that,
and
that,
new, and this world been going
it
on
is
for
fresh
a
and
long
it is
time.
fresh and new. It's fresh and new, and then if he communicates too much, he's sassy. He overly sensitive. A man is not
Janice, no
allowed
lie.
to truly
Janice,
communicate his feelings without putting his masculinity in jeopardy in many cases.
yeah, it is huge because from a young age, y'all taught to dry them tears, wash that face, man it up, toughen up. Don't do
And
it.
I'm gonna tell
It's
you,
hard.
the average man is going to choose his masculinity over his feelings 9 times out of 10.
Mm. Do you believe in that whole alpha beta stigma that's circulating?
You know, at one point I didn't because I used to think that it was just an excuse for ego and all of that type of stuff. But I'm gonna find it once we finish this. But I listened to a video once talking about the traits of an alpha male and stuff like that. And if that's the definition of one, then I say, yeah, it's a real thing. Then.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, and I agree with everything Janice was like. We want that man that's able to make decisions, and we can rely on him. We know he's coming hard and about protecting his family, and like not going to allow a woman to control anything, like or run things, especially not him. And those are the type of
Mm,
men that strong women, I know for a fact, would allow them to lead. Uh, but we could
Yeah.
talk about that too, because your face just did something crazy, Jack. Like, talk about it.
my face is like you say strong women. You kind of
Did
put a
it like with
caveat on it
a
when you
huge
said strong
personality,
when you
like
said
Janice herself,
strong woman. Uh, I mean,
outspoken, like
a
just
lot,
women
a lot
that's
of
doing it
no,
themselves.
I don't argue against the fact that women have had to carry the load for decades. I don't argue against that. I would debate the reason why it came to that. You know, I think it was something that was systemically put in place, and then they managed to pit us against each other. Let's keep it about. We're talking about black men and black women.
Yeah,
Those are our concern. The systemic issues created the foundation for it, and then they found a way to pit us against each other to where nobody wants to be wrong. This whole 50-50 concept. I'm not going 50-50 with a man. I'm not going 50-50 with somebody. So you rather struggle by your damn self and have somebody help you with half of it.
don't even
Make it
get
make
me
sense.
into it.
Not me.
Make it make sense.
Not
You
me.
should always
You want to pay
first and
50%? Well,
foremost at a certain age, men and women should be coming with their own. So
yes.
you sitting back waiting to be
Bare
pampered and
minimum.
taken care of, you are a person who somebody's gonna consider a walking red flag. Because if you can't help me, if you expect, what's this new thing? I'm the table. Damn, some milk crates and a piece of plywood can be
What
a
you
table.
bringing to the table? I am the table.
Like I say, some milk crates and a piece of plywood can be a table. There's a lot of folding tables out there.
Ooh, child. Y'all hear that,
So,
ladies?
so what kind of table are you? No, I'm sitting at the table right now, so I don't need you to be my table.
Mm. I
I need you
know
to be
that.
my partner. We're gonna try this.
Oh, Demarcus said people be ignoring red flags. What this joker say? Falon said, look at Cree eyes on a 50-50. Honestly, I believe 80-20, but that's just me personally.
Uh,
Uh,
you're not consuming 20% of what's in the household. And
right?
then the thing is,
Again,
most men who have it, put it like this, most men who have it don't mind doing it, but he don't want to be damn like, oh, this the requirement. I'm gonna
so
want to have a partner
I
and
think that
someone who's willing to live within that. If you expect that man to be the breadwinner 100%, be willing to live within his tax bracket.
and that's it.
Don't
So
go- don't think you don't want to do nothing, but we got to go eat at Fuego de Chao every damn weekend, or we got to have a $500 dinner, or $200 dinner for no apparent reason. What did you get promoted at work? So if you ain't doing nothing, what you accomplished to make me reward you with a $500 dinner?
okay, so friend, are you done so I can speak? Because you real
Go
passionate. I
ahead.
love it. I love it. Okay,
Go ahead.
so I think that's the problem. Like putting the number on it, saying, "Hey, this is the requirement before I can even date you," type of deal. Okay, that's not where I'm coming from when I say 80-20. So, and I think like when I was on the podcast and they were talking about Lisa Ray and Vivica Fox at their fresh age, that they will not settle for anything less than a rich man. I think some women, some people in general have been accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle that, like you said, they've been providing for themselves 100%. I would absolutely accept a man coming into my life that I want to be with and build with. I wouldn't say, hey, I'm only want to deal with 80-20. I'm not going to say those words will never come out of my mouth. That would never be a requirement. However, I would expect him,
Mhm.
much like Janice, to be able to do above and beyond. And if he's not, I will be doing above and beyond so that we both can be straight, like a partnership. So I think the fact that we put numbers on it,
What's above and beyond?
meaning he
What
will
does
be able to take care of me if I wasn't able to take care of myself.
if you aren't so? But if
If
you're physically able to,
if I'm
you
able
know,
to,
right now, if you're physically able to contribute right now, why? What makes you worthy to sitting back doing nothing while he breaks his back?
I would never be that person. I would never be that person. So that wouldn't apply to me. Like I said,
What seems to
I
be a
say
common
80
theme out
if I
there.
gotta put numbers on it. I'd rather not put
Physically,
numbers on it. And when
mm.
I say that, I just want him to be able to, like, just be capable of. So a man can come and like I guess depending on his lifestyle, where he work at or whatever he doing. And say for example, I think this is a struggle. Like I think Janice said it, like I would resent it if I'm the one like shelling out the big expenses. So I think you want your man to be able to do above and beyond. Like that's
No,
just the
he
outlook
needed to be able to do it. He needed to be able to do it at least as much as you.
or more.
He needed to be able to do it at least as much as you.
Free,
Or
can I
more.
can I touch on
See,
it
but
really fast?
that or more part is what men is why men think that that or more is why men think okay she's probably prepping for this shit to go south, so she's gonna have the secret
Prepping
bank
for it to
account. She's
go
gonna have
south.
yeah for shit to hit the fan because a lot of women I always talk to have an escape plan, right?
Hmm.
Set money aside,
So
regardless
you
of
think are you
how much
saying
that
that's what
man.
some men
Hmm?
think? Go
Oh
ahead, tell me
yeah.
what do some
Oh,
men
well,
think?
I mean, most men. I mean, when you think about it, especially if you're talking about a marriage, we're gonna go with marriage because that's a contractual agreement. Often, men come out on the losing end when it comes to resetting from a marriage. There are children involved. His income is always going to be 20, 25% of his income going somewhere, 30% of his income going somewhere else. So, men, from my experience, the reset is much harder. I can't speak from a woman because I've never, because my ex didn't have any problem resetting him.
Hmm.
So, from my experience, it's hard. It's a much more challenging for a man to reset and level back up to a point to where he's willing to risk it all again. because that's essentially what you do when you enter into that contract. You risk it.
Okay, what
Cree,
is?
can you hear me?
Go ahead.
So let me touch really fast because when I was saying about my relationship that I was in for 4 years and I was working two jobs. Um, so do I think that me wanting a man to make more money is it, maybe it does come from a past trauma because in that relationship, the reason why I ended up working two jobs is because he decided he wanted to, I guess, quote unquote, have a career change while we're in a relationship. Now, I love this man. I want him to pursue what it is that he wants to do. But I understood that came with a pay cut for him to build back up to where he was. So I got a second job so that I could cover the bills, cover his truck payment, all of that stuff. While he's going to school and learning the things that he needs to learn so that he can follow, go and do what he wanted to
He
do.
didn't want to be a rapper, did he?
No, 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 no.
All right.
So he went into coaching. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, but so during that time, because it came with the pay cut and he was making less and he had to kind of build up to where he wanted to be, I love him. We're together. This is a team. So I was okay with okay. I have a full time job. Let me grab a part time, and this is going to cover all our bills, right? And I'm going to be able to take
Unmarried.
care of the. I'm married. I'm going to be able to take care of the household, and we're going to be good. You're going to be doing what you need to do, and we had a timeline on that. So how long should this take? Like, because I didn't want to work myself to death. So when I say that I left because he embarrassed me, like you built an attachment with someone because I was working two jobs and you said I wasn't giving you the time that you needed because I was trying to help you pursue your dreams.
Now, see, ma'am,
So,
that adds a lot more context to your story.
Absolutely.
yeah.
She did not
But
give me all this.
all
She
you
didn't give me
led
all
was
this
all you
information
led was I'm
before.
shallow. You led was I'm
Yeah.
shallow and I was embarrassed. So
You might want to
that
Yeah.
read
provides
the rest of
context.
that
That
next
it
time.
is
But
it makes
that's embarrassing for me because I was doing what I was supposed to do as your partner and showing you that I felt like I was being the woman that I was supposed to be in that relationship, and you embarrass me. So no, I'm not coming
but
back.
like
Like
I
I'm
said,
out of here.
you gave it a lot more context to make it understandable. So
Yeah.
salute.
So
About this.
I'm not like I am shallow, but I know if I love someone, I know how to be a good woman. I was taught how to be a good woman. Like I understand what that means, but you're gonna earn it from me. And then if you destroy that, I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna allow you to fully destroy it in me, so I'm not able to give that to someone else.
And I'm
Period.
absolutely the same way. I want to be spoiled, and I'm absolutely going to spoil my man. So I don't like putting numbers or specifics on it. I just know I'll do whatever for whoever I'm with. So that's really the end of it for me.
So I'm gonna get
Hold
out of
on,
here.
friend. Hold on before
So
you get out of here. Demarcus said, Kevin Samuels said it. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Falon said, like he said, and men will do it. And Demarcus said, women these days are making good money. So I think men, why would they take a liability versus an independent? A lot of men choose women. It don't have nothing to do with how much money they make. So
Most, in my
that
opinion,
narrative,
most men don't care about what a woman
yeah,
makes.
that's not
In my experience, I'm not. What you eat don't make me shit. So I mean,
right. A lot of
I'm not.
women, it's a lot of women that don't really care what men make either. Believe it or not, believe it or not, it's some
Or
women
not.
that's genuinely looking. It's some women that's genuinely looking to have like real connections with men, but because
Yeah,
like
of
these
course.
things are
No, I'm not.
happening,
I'm not. Like I said before, I'm not speaking that this all
yeah,
women think the way all men think. Well, I absolutely believe that. I've seen it, but
yeah, but I think we
answer,
get treated
answer
like the
before we leave.
masses.
Before we leave, I thought about this because we reached out earlier. So, would you agree, or because I haven't looked up the numbers, and I'm sure you may have a little more statistical data. Women supposedly outnumber men. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. There's supposedly a shortage of good men, right?
No.
It
That's
depends on
what
what
they
we
say.
call good men, because I
Yeah,
always meet a good
I'm
man.
going by what I always hear women say is the shortage of good men, right?
Yes.
So
Okay, but that's not something I would say.
that,
But yeah,
yeah, with that being said, y'all need to be if a man is not a man telling you they can't find a good woman, he's not looking for one.
I agree wholeheartedly with that statement. Say it again,
I'm
friend.
just telling
Say
you,
that again.
if a man says he can't find a good woman, it's because he's not looking for one.
Okay, I agree
Because I
wholeheartedly.
mean, according to the math, y'all should be available. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think people often just don't admit what they want
But a
or what
lot
they.
of us, we ain't shit either.
Oh, I'm just
What
saying,
was
you
that,
know,
Janice?
I said a lot of us ain't shit either. So,
what,
so
why will quote unquote fault women is on some of them, many of them have unrealistic expectations on what they can attain. And, just like you say, if you ugly, don't look my way. There's certain things that where you need to keep it moving too as a woman. Certainly, you guys got certain attributes where you need to just keep it moving and go to the kiddie pool. You know, you're not at the 6 foot.
The
You know,
kiddie pool?
you're
no,
not at because some women got this 666, 6 feet, 6 feet, and a six pack. You're not at the 666 level. So keep it moving.
yeah, no.
I don't
Listen.
understand.
All you
Wait,
just
say
got.
that again.
That's an easy thing.
Listen. Even
That is very
even though I'm
easy.
shallow, you only
It's
have
like
to be
you
five
say,
six.
men overshoot. Like she said, they read this false confidence. A lot of women think men overshoot. I can't believe he had the nerve to talk to me. Well, damn, I can't believe she had the nerve to talk to me. Like you
That
really
shit,
thought
friend. Say
that
that
you're
shit.
gonna be the same height and width and thought you had the chance.
That's the thing, like men are saying on podcasts, like you can't weigh as much as a man. I think Kevin Samuel said that as well. You
You know,
can't weigh as much as a
I'm not
man and
gonna
think
say
the man
I'm
gonna
not
want you.
gonna say I'm not gonna say that you can't weigh as much as a man because there's a lot of full size, beautiful
Yeah,
women out
that's
there.
the
So
thing Kevin
I'm not gonna
Samuels
go that
was
route.
saying. Like
But I'm just saying you can't like be realistic. Just like you want a man to be realistic in terms of what he can attain, women should have that
it
same
goes back to
same
that false
expectation.
sense of confidence that some people have. I don't know. That's another conversation. I think that it's really hard out here when people are not being their authentic, honest selves with themselves and just not being realistic in their expectations of other people. I think that it starts with yourself. Like you need to be in the mirror, like, what do I really want? And then seek out that instead of let me see if I can get this person, that person. And a lot of men and women do this, but I know a lot of men do this. Like they say they looking for something serious and they really not. Like what did you
Right.
say earlier? What did you call it? They blowing some kind of smoke or something. What did you call it? What did you say? Eargasms? What did you
Oh,
say? Because women fall in love with their ears. Like I keep telling people, like we love to hear that shit. Like women get excited when a man says, "I want this, that, and I'm looking for this. I'm ready to give my all and all this and that." We be like, "Ooh, get excited."
He told
Wiggle
that
them
to
in.
you and
Like
14 other women. He told you that to you and 14 other chicks.
So we know today is Taco Tuesday, so we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate you for joining. I get to tell Janice before she left. Um, Roundtable Talk, part what 5? I don't know. I'm glad you joined us, though. I appreciate you. You got any ending remarks you want to say? If you had to give advice to people out there that's searching or seeking, I'm gonna say this, like you said earlier, like relationship and marriage does not have to be the goal for your life. Like I know for a fact, marriage is definitely not for everybody. So because you was raised thinking that or brainwashed to think that you are not living right unless you married, then like that's a falsehood. Like some people out here are really happy and single. Like seriously. So
I think that the only thing what I would leave with is make sure you start in the mirror. Start in the mirror. Make sure that you can look yourself in the mirror, and if you can't be honest with the person, you would be honest with yourself and do something about what you see as your flaws and stuff like that. And
go ahead.
and get rid of this negative stigma that seeking help is a sign of weakness for men.
Oh, I would never say that. Like I commend any man on getting help to fix whatever he find to be wrong with him. It's a lot of them suffering in silence. I think you might have said that. Yeah, I think that the best thing you can ever do is get help for yourself. Period. Because nobody else is gonna help you out there. No relationship is gonna help you. nothing's gonna help you until you get that help, that internal help. And then when you said the comment about growing and changing in relationships, because I was talking to a guy the other day, married 30 plus years, and they just got divorced. And I was like, why? Like, I'm like, damn, this sounds like it was your soulmate. And he was like, our wants and desires don't align anymore. Like,
I mean,
she
you
no
got
longer wants to be a wife. She no
somebody
longer wants to operate in that space.
20 years, like, so just say they was 20 years old when they got married. You're not
Right.
the same person. It's like sometimes I think people can grow apart and it doesn't mean that they're bad people. But, hell, 30, 35 years, people should change. That should be. You would hope that you grow together, but it's not always the case.
Right. That's
And
what
it,
I would think. Like, damn, you're not growing together, you're growing apart. I think
yeah,
at some point that should have been like brought to the forefront, and not 10 more years go by, or however many. Like, we tend to hang on because we're invested, like with kids, houses, property, and all those things. But it's like Janice stated, like she told the guy after the date immediately, like, I commend her. Like, when you know, that's when you need to share. Like, don't prolong it, drag people life on. And I think that
I think there's a certain thing where people want to try to make a change or want to not. There's, I think there's an acceptable period where you're uncertain. I think that now it don't mean 5, 10 years, nothing extreme like that. But I think there's an acceptable period of uncertainty in most situations. But I agree that
that's
you
what
know,
you should
and
share.
then
Right.
yeah.
How long do you think it takes, like, for a man to know whether or not he want to, like, move forward with a woman that he's interested in? Like, I don't think it takes a long time. I think most women know with the first date
I
that
think,
whether or not they can.
but I think it takes much longer for men. I think it takes much longer for men. I think men are naturally more guarded, and
Yeah,
men are
I'm
naturally
experiencing that
more
as well, more guarded. So how long would you think, like, mm,
guarded. When you say move forward, as in what,
like to say I want to date this person, or I want to be in a relationship with this person,
I mean,
or add it to the roster?
like dating is one thing. So dating is dating. I don't think that you have to some people see dating as you just with this one person. Some people see dating as just that. I mean, seeing a couple people, you still just dating. But I would say if you're trying to be in a monogamous, committed relationship, I don't think it's outside of the. I don't think it's ridiculous to give it a year.
A
I'm
whole
not saying
year.
a whole year. Like if you're gonna really get to know a person, what can you, if we don't have no season, we don't go through any seasons, how can you know that this is
Mm,
a person for you? You got to go through at least a couple of seasons to I mean, there has
I
to be
agree
some,
with that. I agree with that. Like, to
sometimes that's why
have
this
argument.
this whole 90-day thing that Steve Harvey put out here, that's bullshit. He's just selling books. Like you really have to, and especially when you're talking about a species being the male who's naturally guarded, not taught to open up. It's going to take some time to get to that man's soul. Like really, it's going to take some time.
Probably take longer than a year in some cases.
Yeah, and then
And Marcus said women want to build a man, like
and
build a
you know
bear.
what? Women and society has made it perfectly normal for a woman's trauma to be considered. Very abnormal for
Trauma.
a man's trauma to be considered.
I
That you
think
got
it's just now coming to the forefront, though.
what I'm
I
saying, but
really do.
well, how much conditioning are we speaking of though? You look at all it's like it's so we all say you know better, you do better, but conditioning is conditioning. Institutionalization is just that. These are not things that we break away from easily. Even when we know that we're sitting in it, even when we know that we're going through it, we're telling ourselves that this is not the way to go. It's just
Still
not.
go that way.
It's just something that we go through. So it's like I think we don't give each other enough time. That's why I say when you actually
Or grace.
speed has been is the biggest detriment to relationships in my opinion. The lack of patience and having to just rush to the finish line.
I think there is a lot of validity in that, because I was just telling somebody how I kept thinking about the end and not even like living in the moment and staying present and enjoying what was happening. I'm already thinking and premeditating on how I want this thing to end and where I want it to go. instead of like one day at a time. So if y'all listening and y'all watching, like, I think that's a great bit of advice. Like, just take your time with it. But like you said, we just like in a rush to do everything. It's like these feelings we get, we just want to explore them right off the back. I'm definitely guilty of that shit, like for real. So we're gonna wrap the show up. Thank you so much again for coming on the show, and share your wisdom. Uh, I appreciate it. Uh,
Thanks.
and y'all remember to stay sucker free like Cree. All right. Bye.